Hello, everybody. Welcome to Remember Who You Really Are, a show that we're very happy to be hosting in collaboration with Awake TV. And today I'm very excited because I have with me Rossi, who's a very dear friend. We've done courses together, and we actually have a course in the School of the Heart that we recorded together, the Intuitive Child course. And Rossi has a ton of experience with children. So I thought that today would be very interesting to talk about children and the things that are happening, the things, that it's been going on with everything that's happening in the world, how they feel, how parents feel, and all these things. Hi, Rossi. Thank you for being here.
Hi, Agathi. Thank you for having me. And thank you all for being there with us today. So we're here to tell you a little bit about how we see children, how things are going on for children during these times. What do you think about it, Agathi?
No, I think, I guess it's, children adapt very easily, but I remember because where we are, schools didn't close. Schools closed last year for maybe a month or less, but it was one of the priorities in British Columbia that schools remain open. So I guess in our or my son's life, there has been a consistency. However, I remember how shocked I was when Angelos came home one day and he said, Mom, we cannot share our toys anymore. We cannot touch each other. We cannot do this kind of things. And I was thinking, we already live in society that we are far away from each other, that we don't touch, that we separate, we live in separation. So I said, imagine how these children will be. I don't know how things are where you are, or what you have been getting, from people.
Yes, it's interesting because I live in this community, and we were talking. We have these gatherings, and of course Zoom gatherings. And a few weeks ago, I was talking to my neighbors, and mainly moms, and they were complaining about having the children at home for all the last year, and how hard, how demanding, how challenging that was. And I have the feeling that moms and dads and children, they all are tired, they are bored, they are, children fighting all the time with siblings, moms complain. And apart from that, moms and dads have to be working from home because it's home office for everybody. So they were getting a little bit tired. And I remembered when you and Daniel got in touch with me a couple of years ago, and with the idea of creating this project. And it was well before the lockdown started. So it was already a very valuable project to offer to our community, to moms, dads, teachers, and all those in touch with children. So can you imagine that? I was laughing, because I was thinking, oh, poor moms. Really, I was feeling sorry about the moms in my community, because they feel so drained, and children are more than ever needing to be given tools to center, to ground, to calm down, to reconnect with themselves, to understand their emotions and how to handle them, and also to help them grow as human beings, to expand their consciousness. And I was thinking, we sure, as moms or dads, don't want our children just to be surviving, right? We really want them to be thriving.
Of course, it's a funny thing how we want our children to be, I don't know, understand maybe better, but then we haven't shown them what. So we haven't been the role model of, you know, that thing, the ideal that we have in mind. But I guess, you know, it's funny because when you have young children, right, you need to give them your full attention. So if they're home and they need constant supervision, then it's a never ending thing, right? For you as a parent, you know, being with your child all day long, especially if, you know, they're toddlers, for example, they get into trouble all the time.
Of course.
and and I guess, you know, communities that don't have outdoor space, I think I remember when I had Angelos, it was I was saying, I cannot live in a small space with this child. I'm going to go crazy. I have to be, you know, I have to have space. I need to have a garden. He needs to play and run, you know. So I'm not worried that he's going to hurt himself all the time. And he's going to fall and, you know, this and that. But I wonder how parents are dealing with that in apartments, for example, when their children haven't gone to school for a whole year. What's going on? How much screen are we using to keep our children calm so we can do other stuff? How is this affecting them?
And exactly the consequences of using a screen maybe 3 hours, 4 hours a day. And they go from computer maybe to computer games and then to cell phone. And it has become, you know, something, I mean, not that it's funny, but it's challenging for everybody because children know that they can, parents won't take away their tablets because then what are they going to do with them? You know, are they going to really play with them? You know, so they know they have this this tablet and nobody is going to take it away from them.
It's a worse punishment for the parent to take away the tablet than it is for the child.
Of course. So I don't know, but you know, this sometimes these children are so easy to transform. They are brand new, so everything is sometimes it's difficult, of course, but can be very easy with them. So when you teach them some tools and they start using them, then they really change. So I was, you know, I was thinking, why not? Why not try this to make a difference? Try something different to get a different outcome, right?
Yeah. What would you like? What is the first thing that comes to mind? So, for example, I'm in an apartment. I have a young child. What can I do to maybe not set boundaries, but like how can we can coexist in a way that is not draining for the parent? What would be a tip, for example?
You know, I think that children love stories. Well, everybody does. And I think that relating to your child through stories is a wonderful way to connect. Either you can tell a story of your family, your grandparents, or your something interesting, of course, about your family, or something is interesting about history, but then transform that into information that can be useful for them in their life. And I think that the most valuable thing you can give to your child and get the benefits from it is giving them your time. Your time, and I don't mean hours playing with them, but just 10 minutes. And as we were talking about once, just looking at them in their eyes and talk to them, but really looking at them. And that makes a big difference. If you want to relate to your child, but you're not really connecting through your body, through your eyes, then it's very hard to get feedback from them. So I would say stories and the body connection with them, just holding them for a while, holding their hands, or just looking at them in the eyes, and that will make a big difference. I really believe in touching your children, in connecting through a hug or through holding hands, and when you are at home is different than when you do it in at school or in the as they say, school zone.
Yeah.
So if you do it at home, it's okay. I think they can take it, and they will accept it, and they will feel your love, because at the end of the day, what do they want? They want to feel that they are loved, that they are accepted, that they are part of the family, part of the tribe, part of the society they belong to. So all this is just letting them know, I accept you, I love you, I care about you. That's about it.
I guess we take it for granted, there are children, of course we love them, but I guess children might not, understand that, or the face
Not
that
all
we
the
are
time.
showing to them is like, because as a parent, I was noticing that about myself, like we can do this, we cannot do this. Maybe the we cannot is more than the we can when children are asking something, and then I presume the view of the child is like, oh, it's always a no, it's always this, but in your eyes, of course, you want to take care of them. Maybe it's something that you have something else to do, right? So it doesn't work with that schedule, or so yeah, I did we were talking so in the intuitive child, I think we also mentioned it about touching, what you're saying. And I was doing that. It was a phase when we just moved, and I was angelos because he's at an age that he's growing and he doesn't like too much. It's like, Mom, go away.
Not a baby anymore.
Yes, not a baby. So I was touching his shoulder, and I could sense him, how he liked it, right? It wasn't too much, like, and that was outside the house, right? Where he doesn't want to be much related with me. So I was touching his shoulder, and I could feel how it soothed him, right? How it made him more open to discuss with me, what are we doing? Why, are we doing this and all this stuff? So what you're saying, like simple things that maybe you don't think about them in your daily life, they can transform really relationship and with your child.
Really, because what are you conveying? What message are you giving to your child? I love you, I accept you, I protect you, I'm here for you. So I mean, everybody wants that message from parents, right? I mean, it's something that is always going to be good. And as we were saying the other day, you don't need to be playing with them for hours, but just connect with them a day, and that will do wonders, actually.
Yeah, that's very true. It's so nice.
Plus, I mean, children need help. Yes, we are well aware of that. They need tools, of course, but also parents, moms, dads, they need help. So if we can use this program that is integrated for moms, for adults, for moms, dads, and grandparents, and teachers, and children, they can get the help they need. I was talking with my son, and he was telling me that in his community there's a lot of depression among his friends. Many people are experiencing this anxiety, depression, anger, and they don't know how to handle it. And of course, nobody can blame them because they have been 1 year or so in lockdown, working from home, with the children running and yelling and screaming around them. And so why don't we offer, or why don't we accept this help to connect not only with children but with everybody else, and to be, to have this inner peace that will allow you to be more centered and working. When you work from an inner place of peace and calm, it's a whole different thing than when you have anger or anxiety or frustration inside, right? So why not try these small meditations, small exercises, small stories that are included in this program? Because they really, I really believe that will do a lot of good, both to children and adults. So maybe it's time to try something different.
That's true. Yeah.
Hmm.
It's when we say that, parents come to us and they say, I've been having this issue with my child. And usually, the last year or so, we had even more, maybe more now, but like we've always had parents coming to us of teenage children and
Okay.
having so many difficulties with their children and what their children are doing and how they're doing it. And teenage years is it's a phase of your child's life that they're not really listening to their parents, right? But whenever the response came from us that, of course you want to help your child, but how about we start by, you helping yourself, right? How about you first, figure out what's going on inside? What does this trigger you? Because that's the space where you can actually help somebody, right? You can't be in a space of frustration, of anger, of the emotions are actually, depleting you or distracting you, and trying to help somebody. It doesn't really work. But there was a lot of resistance, and that's the other thing. Like, if we need to improve something, it doesn't make us less. If we need to work on something, it doesn't make us less. We are not less than somebody else. It's a journey for everybody. Nobody is, perfect, or suddenly you have a child and you know everything, and everything is intuitive and you know what to do. I guess, that's not how it is. We grow, we learn and we grow, and we learn and we grow. And it's easier when we are ready to say, yeah, there is a lesson here and I can learn that and I can work on myself. And then from there, I can maybe help my child, or maybe I can have a better relationship with my child, but I need to work on myself, as you're saying. I guess that's a big, like, big admission to ourselves. Yeah, I can use with some help.
Hmm. What you're saying is so true, because normally moms and dads, every time more and more dads are going through this thing that you are giving, always giving to the others. You get up, you take a quick shower, and then you have to be ready to feed your family. You have to be downstairs cooking breakfast for children, and then taking children, if they're going to school, well, before, when they were going to school, or now getting ready for classes online, or getting activities for children. And then you have to be there for your husband, and then maybe for your elder parents, and then maybe for your sisters who is going through several issues, or maybe for your neighbors. So we as women are we tend to be giving all the time. We are giving, and that is the reason why we get depleted eventually. I mean, no wonder why. And we should give this love back to us. I mean, that would be the best thing to do. And you know, there are different ways to give love to us. Just taking a little time during the day for ourselves and telling everybody, please let me be by myself and don't come and ask me for things. Don't come and knock at my door. I will be maybe 15 minutes and I want to be there by myself and maybe do a little meditation. And then when I come out of this meditation, and then I will be more understanding to everybody. I won't yell as much as before. And I won't be so demanding. So yes, we as moms and women, we have to learn to give love to ourselves as well as we give love to everybody else in the family, right? Mhm.
That's so true. And I guess I was also, watching the relationship that you have, right, as a mother with your child. And I guess, like for me, I noticed that, my son is like, he takes me for granted. It's like, my mom is
Yes,
always there,
of course.
And in a way, okay, sometimes I would like for him, to listen maybe more because, to what I say. But I love the idea of always know that, somebody's there for you. Doesn't matter what you do, doesn't matter what happens in life, right? They're always there. So the sense of safety, right, that I think it's a prerequisite for us growing up, right, as young children, having that safety, having that stable, right, thing always there, growing with that. Uh, yeah, I guess at the same time, that as a mother, brings all that, the responsibility, the guilt, maybe sometimes if I'm not, in the best space to do the things that I would like to do, right, with my child, or to behave in the best way that I can behave, because this happens as well.
Of course. That's a big one for us women, guilt, right? Oh my goodness, yes, absolutely. But we have to let go. We have to learn to let go. You know, this mantra in yoga classes, we must learn to let go. And it's so true
Yeah,
in this case, absolutely.
true,
Yes.
true.
And
It's
at the same time, well, if we give a little bit of love back to ourselves, that will allow us to be more present for our children and, of course, give love to them. So, first thing would be to give love to us with a little meditation a day, and that will allow us to be more present for everybody else in the family. And what they all want, we yell less, right? So
true.
that's guaranteed. Yes, absolutely.
The best version of us, right? It's beautiful. And I wanna, so we've had, the last couple of months, and with everything that's going on and with all the changes that are going on, and the understanding of, you know how many things we can do that we think are impossible, right? How many things we can, I don't know, like, and I want to go to EOV and what you're teaching in EOV, right? So where children can put a mask on and they can actually read with their mask on, right? And I've seen like people, it became a sensation of, because it's something that we believe we cannot do. But I want to touch on this in the way that you speak about it, in the way that it's not about what you're doing, but it's about the inner process and where you need to be, instead of the how impressive it looks.
Yes. Well, um, you know, for us, as after we've been doing it for years, it is not impressive anymore. I consider it, you know, totally normal and a natural step, you know. And what is interesting is that when we started these teachings, is that it would take around 4 or 5 classes weeks for children to start reading and seeing around and doing their homework with blindfolded. But nowadays, the energy on the planet has been, moving forward so fast that most children can do it in the first class, first or second class. And that's fascinating. That is very interesting for me, because I know everybody can do it. I mean, all children can do it. That I know. Of course, it's in fact it's guaranteed. But knowing that now children can do it so fast and so effortlessly, and I believe that when you open the door for, you start doing things for before you open the door for the others that come behind. So yes, there are so many children doing that at the present moment, that all the other children are doing it faster and faster, and that's I mean, that's fascinating. For children,
Right.
it's very simple. It's not complicated. You can see it with Angelos, right?
Yeah. It's amazing. It's like, for me, when I first saw it, I have to say that I believed. I believed in it. I believed that, yes, people can do this, or children can do it. But when I actually saw it happening, I was so excited. It just, and that's the other thing. Like, it was so, yeah, what I believed, what I know deep inside, that we are more, right?
We are
Because
more. We are so much more. Yes.
that's the representation for me in this whole process of a child being able to read without using its eyes, right? Being blindfolded. It demonstrates to all humanity that we are more than our body, that our potential is infinite, that we don't know, we have never explored. And a child growing, knowing that I am more than my body. Imagine.
Yes, that is something that changes their life forever. They will never be the same before and after they know they can do it, because I mean, everybody has told them this is the way it is, but suddenly they learn that they can do so much more than that, and that's a big one for children, and that is why they get so self-confident afterwards, and they get so they know they can be so much more at school and at home and in society, and they have this confidence in themselves, and they know it, so they can achieve big things after learning how to see without using their physical eyes, because they know they have other skills, other capacities that nobody has told them about before. And once they start using them, and for them it's so normal, so natural, so that is wonderful as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. They don't consider it as something like wow, or it's something, incredible. It's like, yeah,
Yeah,
I could see.
and parents are, wow, oh my goodness, yeah, but
Yeah,
for them it's so natural.
yeah, that's true. That's very true.
That would
And
be wonderful if more and more children can have this ability, because it will change society, and it will change consciousness of the world, the planet. So hopefully there will be more and more children doing to see without using their physical eyes blindfolded.
true. And it also brings, and I'll tell you what I've seen, the responsibility towards the parents, and I guess motivation of why you want to do it. And that's the tricky part in the society that we live in, right? As a parent, not where are you, what's your intention of, let's say, guiding your child, right? Because for children this is something normal. For children this is something like they go to a soccer club, or they play, I don't know, basketball or something. But for you as a parent, it's, and that's the work, I guess, with ourselves. It doesn't, sometimes I've seen people putting pressure on their children, right? Or putting their children up there on a pedestal. You are, amazing, and you are like the best, right? For them to make them feel, of course, better. But children want to belong. And I've seen, we've been seeing this so often, like they want to be part of a community, of their friends. They want to be close to each other. So if you separate them, they're not going to like it. They want to be there. They want to feel that they're beautiful, and everybody can do it, right? In that sense, instead of putting that extra pressure of, oh, I'm different, I'm special. And you don't need to feel special in order to be the best of who you are. Does it make sense?
You're talking about that having this special ability will make children feel different.
And I'm talking about the parents making the children feel different.
Oh. I see, because children don't, children, they consider everybody can do it. I mean, if I can do it, all my friends can do it. And I had this little girl who was my student, and normally we tell them at the beginning, you don't have to tell everybody until you already have the skill very well integrated. And so she was very smart, very clever. And she came after holidays and told everybody in her classroom. And she went to the front of the classroom and told everybody that she had learned this during the holidays. And everybody was so interested. I thought that they would make fun of her, or they would not going to believe her. And that was not the case. The teacher was really interested in how was that. And all her friends were very, supported, and she felt very good about it. So I don't know about parents. Normally, we tell them not to, brag about their children in that way, but children don't. They will take it as a very natural thing that comes to their life. Yeah,
I agree that for children, it's not, the children are very natural, and I guess they don't have what we've created as an adult society of we needing to be different, we needing to be special, to be somebody, to be this, to be that. For children, it's about belonging. For children, it's about, being with their friends. But I guess, that's the other work that we need to do with ourselves, which comes of our self-realization and what we talked earlier, taking time, right? To understand ourselves, to be grateful for who we are without the need of external confirmation of, you're amazing, you are this, you are that. It's an inner thing that should always be coming. As we're
they know they are amazing, they know they are special.
Exactly. 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 That's the thing.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
I was wondering if you had any feedback from different ages, maybe, teenagers at this time, or like early, like late, I don't know, 18-year-old, 19-year-olds. And because I've heard from young children, young adults, right, how difficult it has been, because they have been, for example, studying, right, or you're finishing school, trying to go to university, or thinking, this is what I'm going to do. Suddenly, with the lockdowns and everything, they can't, right? So it left them in a sort of a limbo of, what am I doing? Where am I going? Is it worth it? What's all these things that are happening?
I was hearing it's interesting you mentioned it. I was hearing to this young boy. He was 19 years old, and he was telling the group that he had suffered from huge depression, and that he had been feeling anxiety and for the last few months, and that he couldn't handle that situation any longer. And of course, his mom was feeling very guilty about, everything, and she was feeling very anxious as well. And he started meditating, and that's the only thing he did. He said that he started meditating for about 1 hour a day, and that he would, just tell his friends that, oh, he was too tired, because he didn't want to mention to everybody that he was meditating. And he said, oh, I'm too tired, I'm gonna go to sleep. And then he would start meditating, and eventually he felt the difference. So this connection with source, and this connection with the, whatever they want to call it, divinity, or God or source, is essential. It is essential for young people to figure out what they want to do, what they want to be, and answers will come to them. That can be, that is guaranteed. Answers will come to them, but they have to have this discipline to meditate at least. And it doesn't matter what methodology or what kind of meditations they do, as long as they connect with source. That's the thing that I have found that is the best thing for young people, for teenagers and young adults.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Of course, they have to have this discipline to just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it, whether it is in the morning or it is in the evening, but just do it once a day, and that will totally change the game.
Yeah. It's it is hugely important, and I guess it's, we try to start teaching our children young to take some time. It's so to create the habit, right? At the same time of, I take some time, like we do with Angelos every day. We take some time to do our, our small prayer, our exercise, our heart imagery exercise, and it becomes part of your life. So growing up, you learn how to manage, your emotions, whatever is happening. But even if it hasn't, I totally agree with you that children are, so we all need it. It's an essential thing for everybody. But children, especially in ages that you have very high and very lows, right? Where your emotional world is so, like a turmoil all the time. It's so important to create this practice and habit of doing it. And I love to see that today in some schools, they're, bringing in meditation, they're bringing in practices, assisting children, because this is a tool that you take with you, your whole life. So I hope that more and more, children will come and we'll be learning these things. We'll be learning, we'll be reconnecting, so we can all reconnect with oneness, with divinity.
When they start feeling the benefits, both, everybody, children and teenagers and adults, they will keep on doing it, because it's not until we feel the difference that we really commit. So I really hope that children and teenagers start committing themselves to this work, because finally we need this guidance, and the guidance is so beautiful, and it's so helpful, and helps you be fine with everybody else and with your life. So why not? I always say, why not?
Why not? I agree. That's a very good. Why not? Why
Yes.
not? Thank you so much, Rossi, for
thank you, Agathi. It was
being
a
with us.
pleasure. Yes, and thank you everybody for bearing with us, putting up with us. Thank you, everybody.
And we'll see you soon.
We'll see you soon.